Okay, boxing fans, right now we're talking about Adrien Broner versus John Molina Jr. John Molina's coming off two losses, one to Lucas Matisse, another one to Humberto Soto in what was a weird match, very controversial. But, you know, Molina lost. And on the other side, we've got Adrien Broner making or continuing his comeback, making a comeback from fat in this fight. He just had a good win over, what was the guy's name? Emmanuel Taylor, who has been a shocking, shockingly bad professional compared to his amateur pedigree. But, he got the win and that was okay. In this fight, he's stepping up against a dangerous opponent, possibly. I'll ask the other guys what they think of it now. We'll go straight into this with Kingy. What are you thinking about this fight, Molina versus Broner?
I reckon it's a decent fight, mate. I think it could be quite competitive as well, depending on how smart Broner is. He has this thing of staying in the same style all the time, which is disappointing to me when I watch him because he's got a lot of skill. He seems to be stuck in this Philly shell counter style bullshit. It was sure that Maidana showed up, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
But I think it could be a good fight, really. I do rate Molina. I mean, he's pretty basic, but he's he's a tough lad and he always comes to fight and that. So I reckon it could be a good fight.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight. I think it will be semi-competitive. I just think that one guy's took a bit too much damage recently, and the other guy, well, he makes it hard for himself. I think Broner makes it hard for himself.
Definitely.
That's one way to look at it. Roddy, what are you thinking about this fight?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a step up from Broner's last couple of opponents, fighting Carlos Molina and Emmanuel Taylor. It's just kind of on the road to recovery a bit. Adrien Broner, he needs to have done a bit of soul searching. I know he's just been with dad and all that jazz, so he's packed on the pounds weight wise. It's nice to see. I mean, there's the fight at 140. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's nice to see that he's not continuing his foray into 147, and he's dropping down to 140, which I think is better and probably a better division for him as well. But yeah, I think it's somewhere between a stay busy fight and a serious contender. It's somewhere in the middle, sort of that sort of grey area. So it should be relatively competitive. But you look at Molina's record, and last relatively decent win would probably be Mickey Bale, was talked about as perhaps something being relatively decent. He's lost to some fighters that probably aren't great, relatively recently, and I think it'll probably be competitive for a few rounds, but then the favourite will probably do what he's meant to do.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that Broner's going to win this fight. I think that basically he's going to ride out an early storm. You see, Molina can bang, and he's got some ability about him. And let's not forget that when Broner did fight Carlos Molina, the shit one, that people saying he's fighting the wrong Molina, he should be fighting John Molina. And now he is fighting him. You've got to give him credit for that. He is fighting him. It's just that Molina's gone through a few more tough fights since then, and it's probably weakened him up a bit for Broner. And I think Broner should have the style to beat Molina. But I wouldn't be 100% surprised if Broner touched the floor at some point in this fight. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's going to be a walkover, Kingy, or do you think it's going to be, relatively tough?
I think it might be tough early on, maybe first 6 rounds. I think Broner might make it tough for himself. He's always quite a slow starter as well, isn't he? But I think after 6 rounds, he'll probably sort of figure him out and then start using the right tactics and just, turn the screw on him really, mate, and just finish him off. I think he'll probably finish him about round 11 or something like that.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Rod? Do you think it's going to be competitive or?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same sort of thinking of Kingy as well. I think Broner's not knocked anyone out in his last 4 fights, so I think it may go to perhaps a points decision, but wide, really wide. It depends how fit Broner is as well. Obviously, we've all seen the pictures of him piling on an absolute ton of weight.
Good angle, yeah.
So whether or not he's going to basically have the fitness to be rushing in and trying to get the guy out there, I think it might be a case of where he does what he needs to do and just coasts to a wide points decision. Doesn't need to hurt himself too much. And as long as he figures him out relatively quickly, like Kingy said, the first sort of perhaps 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 rounds, then he'll just probably, stay out of harm's way and just coast to a win.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. We do not know how Broner's going to come into this fight as of yet, because the weigh-in's not actually been yet. So you may be listening to this and he may not have made weight or something. And considering I saw the size of him at that, I think it was basketball game, damn. It'll be an achievement for him to make 140 pounds now, when he must have been at least 180 there. But yeah, so we'll just leave that where it is, because we don't exactly know what condition he's coming in yet. But one thing I was also going to say was a problem I can sense for Broner is that Broner spends a lot of time admiring his own work in there. Like, he'll do a little bit of work, and then he'll spend a lot of time standing there, like, blocking punches with his face and his body. And it's like, you're blocking scoring punch, you're allowing him to score punches against you, and he'll do this for a significant amount of time in the fight. So that could be one reason I could see another reason why I can see this being a semi-competitive fight, because of his lack of work rate and his extremely overrated defense. But we'll just go straight into the prediction, what we think is going to happen now. Kingy, what's your prediction?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a stoppage for Broner, probably around 11, maybe around 12. I think Molina might put in too much early on and then just be exhausted at the end. And just get stopped, on sheer exhaustion kind of thing. I think it might be similar to the DeMarco fight, to be honest. Maybe a little bit more competitive, though.
Oh, for which one? They both fought DeMarco?
I mean, when Broner fought DeMarco, sorry, pal.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Forgot that they fought, actually.
What are you thinking, Roddy?
I am in two minds. I think I don't think you can question Molina's heart, but I think it definitely goes past 9 rounds. It's just whether or not Broner is fit enough to decide to take the risk in the last sort of 2 or 3 rounds to try and get him out of there. Whether or not I think he'll try and make a statement, I'm not too sure. I think a lot depends on Broner's fitness. But I'll go wide points decision, Broner.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. I'm going points decision to Adrien Broner. Semi-wide. I just think that he'll have too much. I think he'll be semi-competitive because of his lack of work rate. People might be giving, the opponent, Molina, a few rounds here and there because of his work rate and stuff. But before Broner was battered by Maidana and, didn't look very good against Paulie, I would have been picking Broner by knockouts all day. But the difference in fighter from lightweight to welterweight and now we're in the middle is night and day. So I'm just going to say points decision, semi-wide. It's, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Tell us what you think about this fight.